So now that Peterbot has got its refresh, let's talk about how he actually wins the game. And the key thing, whenever you get a refresh in solos, is, especially if it's a triple refresh, which is, the best type of refresh you can get, is you have a mat advantage over the player up on high ground. So Jack's right here, 66 builds, he's been doing a good job of holding height, not using an insane amount of mats, but you can't really get refreshes when you're up on height. So whenever you get a mid ground or a low ground refresh, immediately think about how you can take height. So let's watch what Peterbot does. He comes out the side of his box, very important. He's not just editing out the top or, editing straight towards the server. He's going out the side, so it's hard to get beams as he comes out. Then he's getting up high layers while getting towards front side. He's going to scout out high ground, as you can see, looking through his floors. You can also do the Taysom box where you look through a stair. It's a little bit easier, but, having a two-bar like this is completely fine. And he spots that high ground is, pretty shambles. They're not established. They're not connected. They're not in the best position. This guy starts getting fought backside. He's trying to get a refresh himself. So what does Peterbot do? He taps his fizz and he's going to go up on high ground. Very simple. And you've got to remember, he also knows he's got a mat advantage here. So using that mat advantage is important, but you don't just want to crank away like 500 mats trying to get up on height. It's much more important that you do effective chops. So he does the side jump with a fizz to get a little bit of damage, has the wall control, now he does a nice little chop, and he gets a free kill. And he prioritizes, of course, getting the mats. Always prioritize picking up the mats. He missed a bit of wood right there, but he does double back and get the fizz, which is a really good place. I know he's got a full fizz to maintain height, and he's going to very effectively hold height with a pretty cheap amount of mats. So what he does to hold height is he does this DC ramp where you ramp up like this, and then you give yourself a nice little peek down onto people behind you so you can't get flanked, as well as it's quite hard to get chopped because you're such good angles. Like, look at the angles he's got on the server right here to be aware of where people are chopping him from. And now, even though he does get chopped, he knows exactly who chopped him and who to focus. So you can see he's going to fully focus on this player that chopped him. He gets himself 200 just in case he gets fought, and he keeps doing this ramp strat, keeps on pressuring the player who's chopping him, makes this guy have a really tough time. If there's somebody active looking for high ground, you need to absolutely just bitch them off it and just spam them as much as possible. They can't even have a chance of looking up at your height. Exact same thing. Really good high ground hold right here. Just doing these ramps, making sure you're giving yourself a good peek, making sure you can't get flanked. Really good stuff by him. And he's also very just active when he's up on high ground, using his AUG. You should never stop shooting your AR until you run out of ammo, in my opinion, when you're up on height. Because otherwise, other people are going to be able to look up at you, and it's going to be a very hard time for you winning the game. Because, of course, you're going to get chopped and use even more mats than you should. Now, as we get into final moving right here, there's 6 players left, and Peterbot gets beamed for a lot of damage.